What's going on, everybody? This is Nick Lawson with Squad Sports, and this is episode 35 of your sports sponsorship tip of the week. All right, again, another weekend sponsorship. Craziness happening. Sometimes we don't fully know if games are getting back going. Our sponsors are asking us. Sometimes it feels like we can't even see our hand in front of our face, right? What we need to do is a couple things, and this is really where the tip of the week surrounds around this. First is being flexible, and we talked about that last week on that. But as I was thinking about that, we also need to have creativity and an understanding of how businesses sort of work with our partners. And that just means a deep dive into understanding the different necessities of our businesses and what they're trying to do. So the tip of the week this week surrounds around a very specific item, but you can do it for almost every sort of piece in every sort of industry on that end. But the tip of the week this week is this. When we sell to a grocer partner, a hardware store partner, anybody that is really reselling another product, what we need to understand is that they also are doing the purchasing in the engagement with their direct brand. There aren't a ton of direct-to-consumer brands that have pulled out of the Home Depots, the Rite Aids, the Safeways, the Albertsons, whatever that may be. Understanding that is key because that means there's more dollars to be able to work with something. So the tip of the week is this. As you look at your partners, if you have your Home Depots, if you have some of your other stores that are reselling another product, a lot of times they're working directly with the brand or the product. Let's say a drill company for Home Depot. For Rite Aid, it might be Pepsi. And they're working to make sure that they're getting a ton of sales within that piece. Think about on the shelf, right? Brands will pay more money to be on that middle shelf as compared to the top or the bottom. They want to make sure that they're being seen and engaged with. In this time, let's get a little bit creative. Let's fuse both of those budgets together and open up a budget that totally makes sense. So again, the tip of the week is this. If you have a Home Depot, also ask them or start looking into how their drill bit partner, their craftsman, might be able to kick some dollars toward a deal to be able to make benefit on both of them, right? So a deal structure might look like this. It's going to be a co-branded activation, a sponsored tweet, a sweepstakes, to where both Craftsman and Home Depot are paying for it. They're both building brand. They're both working with each other to understand that you want to buy Craftsman and you want to buy it from Home Depot, but we don't really care. That's another bucket of budget that we can go grab and justify spending dollars on our activation, right? And it just makes so much more sense. If you can go to a Home Depot who might be a partner of yours, say, hey, look, I'm trying to have you help one of your vendors, and that vendor might be Craftsman, that vendor might be Traeger Grills. If you can say, hey, I have something that can help you better fit that relationship so you're still getting a great deal or you're building and maintaining that relationship, let's do a co-branded activation. Let's have them kick over some dollars so that the story we're telling with our activation isn't just go buy things at Home Depot or go buy a Craftsman drill. You're almost finishing that journey for the fan to say, go buy that Craftsman drill at Home Depot. Both brands are getting recognition and branding and building that brand with your passionate fan base. Both brands are also benefiting because they're showing the process that Home Depot is getting sales, which means that Craftsman is going to get that sale as well. So it's both beneficial for both. But again, it's two separate sponsorship budgets. So look through your deals. If you have a Home Depot that's telling you, hey, we just don't have the budget for this, I think a very great creative way would be going to them and saying, hey, look, if you don't have the budget for this, I totally get it. Let's try and get creative here. How is your relationship with Craftsman? Do they ever do promotional items in your store? Like put up pop-up things and they pay for that? Great. Let's ask them how they would like to get 20,000 Florida Gator fans engaging with that same piece and building the brand with both of those, and you two can come together, not on separate deals, but we can get this deal to go just based on changing some strategy of how we're doing that. And to tell the story to our fans that you should buy Craftsman, and when you buy Craftsman, you should go to Home Depot. That deal makes sense in this day and age. Those two parties are going to come together and say, hey, look, I'm getting great exposure, great engagement, maybe a little bit of less of a price if they both did it individually, but you can close that deal where it might be, no, we can't get that deal going because we don't have enough budget, and you're just opening new budgets. Rich and I talked about on the Inches podcast, and we've talked about this a bunch since then, is buckets. Understanding where there's buckets of dollars and then telling the context story for how you can get those buckets of dollars and open up new buckets, HR, marketing, digital dollars, anything like that. This is a piece of that. You're opening up vendor relation buckets with your partners and creating a deal that totally makes sense and totally makes sense toward the story to your fans. So again, the tip of the week is this. If you have those resellers, go to them if they're not ready to do a deal, or you want to max their deal and add some more assets and say, I think this would be a great activation. Craftsman, Home Depot, tell the story of buy Craftsman, but when you do, buy it at Home Depot, and have them go to their vendors and see if they can't unlock some dollars for that activation. It's a win-win for the brands. It's a big win for you because you're going to probably lock in some dollars that either you were going to lose that deal or upsell. And again, as we look at this entire, time within sports sponsorship history, the ones that are the most creative, the most savvy, and the most flexible are going to win those deals. The ones that have the strategy of the past of, we're going to go to Home Depot, they're going to tell us they don't have budget, and then we're going to hound them. Let's get creative. Let's solve their problems for them. They want to buy your assets probably if you have them that far down the deal. They just can't logistically. Let's get creative on how we can help them logistically do it. I think this tip of the week is a great way to do that. And I hope it helps you out as you're kind of looking at these partners. So that's the tip of the week this week. Go to those wholesalers, get the direct brands in line, build those relationships, build those great packages, get creative, let's sell more sponsorship. Remember, keep pushing those limits within sports sponsorship.